a child, please hold on to them tightly. And the roads do get pretty bumpy out here, and this is a real truck that I am really driving. Yeah, crazy, right? Now our journey does begin in the Little Aturi Forest. The animals that live here are very shy and timid in nature, and they rely heavily on camouflage for survival. Like that okapi over on the right-hand side. Now because of the striped hind legs on the okapi, also looks like there's a yellow-backed diker there to the right as well. Kind of hanging out towards the very back. Now because of the striped hind legs on the okapi, many people will assume that they're related to zebra, but they're actually the only living relative to the giraffe. And we know that based off of their similarities in bone structure, as well as how they have the same long, prehensile tongue that they use to eat with. Now the okapi's tongue is so long that they're actually able to lick their own eyeballs, which is very important to know. You guys are so welcome for that fact. Speaking of eyes, you have quite a few more of them back there than I do up here. So don't be afraid to let me know of any animals that you can see that maybe I can't see. Now this is a group effort and we are all in this together. Now the animals of the forest are very good at hiding, and they do enjoy hanging out behind bushes and trees, which can make them pretty difficult to find. Now coming up on our right hand side, you'll find my favorite animals of the forest, the saddle-billed storks. And they get their name from that yellow saddle-like patch they have on their bills. And they are the tallest storks in Africa, standing up to be about 5 feet tall, with wingspans up to 9 feet in length, which is about the length of the canopy above your heads. Now this is the female closest to us, so that must be the male. You can tell them apart based off of their eye color. Females will have bright yellow eyes, while males have dark brown eyes. Over on our left-hand side, there is a greater kudu. There's also a bongo. Greater kudu is a tan-colored antelope, while bongo is the copper-colored one. And they rely on those white stripes on their bodies to help them blend in with that forest foliage. And those white stripes will mimic the look of the sun rays peeking through the trees. Now, as we leave the forest behind us and head out into the Safi River Valley, I want to point out those animal spotting guides you have above your heads. Now, those guides are going to help you identify some of the animals we may see today. Like these pink-backed pelicans on our right-hand side. They get their name from a pink color that will appear on their backs and on their beaks during mating season, almost as if they were blushing. At the start of mating season, a male will present a female with a stick. Oh, there's also a hippo. And if she likes that stick, they will stick together forever. Now here's a hippo on our right-hand side. Oh, smile! Now a group of hippos is called a bloat. There's actually a few more hanging out here on our left-hand side. Now hippos do spend most of their days completely submerged in the water. They can hold their breath for several minutes at a time. There's actually 2 hippos down there. Now hippos don't swim in the water, but what they do is sink themselves down to the bottom and they walk along the riverbeds. And they move pretty slowly while they walk on those riverbeds, but out on land they can run up to about 25 miles an hour. And that means I would not get into a race with a hippo if I were you. Another animal I wouldn't want to get into a race with would be the Nile crocodile. And there's a basket of them here on the left-hand side. We do want to make sure we stay seated, please. These are real crocodiles. Now crocodiles can run up to about 12 miles an hour, and they're going to grow to be between 16 and 20 feet in length, which is about the height of a full-grown giraffe. And they are also going to weigh around 500 pounds when they are full-grown. And with jaws that are powerful enough to crush bone, they are very easily able to eat half of their body weight in a single sitting. Now that is enough food to keep them full for up to 2 weeks at a time. This large tree over on our right-hand side is a baobab tree. Now it does look like it's upside down with its roots sticking up, but that's just because they remain leafless about 9 months out of the year. They are able to survive through long periods of drought by storing thousands of gallons of water in their trunks. And that makes them very beneficial for animals who live out on the Savannah, which is where we're headed into next. In the case of an extreme drought, animals can pierce the bark of the tree in order to drink the water that's stored inside. And that's how it got its nickname, the Tree of Life. Over on the right-hand side, there's a dazzle of zebra.
Oh, I got a baby one. See the lions? You hear the lions?
We can tell those are Hartman's mountain zebra because their stripes don't wrap all the way around their bellies. Here on the right-hand side, there's an Ankole cattle. And there's also a tower of Maasai giraffe here on the right-hand side. Now throughout the day, giraffes will spend about 30 minutes napping, but about 20 hours eating. And they spend so much time eating, they've adapted to have a dark purple tongue that can grow to be about 20 inches long. Also over on the right-hand side, that tan-colored antelope you can see is an eland. Over on the left-hand side, this is a pack of African painted dogs. Now these guys are so very cute, but they're also some of Africa's most successful predators. And that's due to their high levels of endurance and intelligence. Now these guys can run up to 35 miles an hour and keep that speed for up to 3 miles at a time. And they will hunt as a pack and communicate with each other to take turns chasing an animal until it's too tired to continue running.
So cute.
Which doesn't really stop me from wanting to pet them.
What?
They know they get treats.
This is actually my favorite giraffe here on the right-hand side. Yep. She's just been enjoying her food. Giraffes are born at 6 feet tall, and they're going to grow to be between 18 and 20 feet tall when they are full grown. Not sure if I said that or not. Oh.
She's just gonna cross the street in front of us.
Oh, there's a great view of her here on this left-hand side. Now, giraffes do pretty much everything standing, like eating and sleeping. And they also give birth standing up, which means the first thing a baby giraffe will ever experience in life is gravity. But that's okay, they're able to brush it off very quickly. Even after that 6-foot fall, a newborn giraffe is able to walk and run within the first hour after birth. Which is a lot more than we can say for ourselves.
I can do that.
Now coming up on our left-hand side, a really great view of a few of those Ankole cattle. Now unlike other cattle who are used for meat and dairy purposes, Ankole cattle are more of a status symbol amongst farmers. The more Ankole cattle you have, the wealthier you are perceived to be. Both male and female Ankole cattle will grow horns, and they can grow to be about 4 feet long and 8 feet wide. Coming up on the right-hand side, there are a few wildebeest. Wildebeest are very herd-oriented animals. They do stay together in large groups. They do rely on each other for safety, and one of the really cool ways they help keep each other safe is that when it's time for them to sleep, they're all going to lay down facing different directions, and they'll keep space between them. Just in case they need to get up in a hurry, they can do so without harming each other. Kind of like this here on the right-hand side. impressive that a newborn giraffe can walk after an hour. A newborn wildebeest will normally take their first steps about 15 minutes after being born. Now, coming up ahead on our left-hand side, there's a flamboyance of greater flamingos. And there's even a few babies hanging out on the island. They're the gray-colored ones. If you take a good look at the island that they're standing on, you'll see it's in the shape of Mickey Mouse. Nature really is incredible, isn't it? Now, greater flamingos are the largest flamingos in the world, and they're also the lightest shade of pink for all flamingos. Now, when they hatch, they are a gray color, and it's going to take about 2 years for their pink tones to fully develop. And they get those pink tones from the beta carotene that's found in the brine shrimp that they eat. Now, these mud pits that you can see over on the left-hand side are very popular spots for animals that don't have fur to hang out. Now, that would be animals like rhinos. So you have to know if you can see any hanging out in the area. Now, rhinos will roll around in the mud to help protect their skin from the sun, almost as if it were a natural form of sunscreen. And that thick layer of mud will also help regulate their body temperature and is a great natural moisturizer for their skin. Now, coming up on our left-hand side, you might be able to spot a cheetah or two. Right there in the center of the yard. Now, a group of cheetahs is called a coalition. They are able to go from 0 to 60 miles an hour in about 3 seconds flat. And they can hold that 60-mile-an-hour sprint for about the length of 2 football fields. Now, cheetahs are the only type of cats to have non-retractable claws. And that means their claws will always stay out to better help them grip the ground while they run at those high speeds. Kind of like how athletes will wear cleats. Coming up ahead on our left-hand side, there is a lioness. She's hanging out on top of those tall rocks. This rock formation is called Copy rocks. These rocks stick out of the savannah and help to give different types of animals, like lions, a great viewpoint of the savannah around them. Over on our right-hand side, there are a few rhinos and an ostrich, a few ostriches as well. We should be able to get a better view of them up ahead. And also here on the left-hand side, there's a few water bugs. Their skin will secrete a grease that's going to waterproof their coat, and that allows them to go out into the deep waters to hide from their predators.
Hi.
There's also the male lion up at the very top as well. Now, he's definitely not a house cat, so we don't want to make any sounds to entice them to come over to us.
Is there cats? Get a picture first. I do. That's awesome. Never seen them that high.
Now, a lion's roar is so loud that it can be heard from up to 5 miles away. Coming up on our right-hand side, there are a few white rhinos. White rhinos are the largest rhinos in the world. They're going to weigh around 6,000 pounds when they're full grown.
You hear them? Hear the lions? Did you hear them? Is that them? Yeah. Rolling? Yeah. Here? Hear her? Hear her? It's the lioness.
Oh, the lion's kind of roaring right now. Now we did also see a few ostriches a little ways back there. Ostriches are the largest birds in the world, as well as the fastest animals on two legs, reaching speeds up to 40 miles an hour when they run. If you guys look over on the right-hand side, there are a few ostrich eggs in the grass. Now, ostriches do lay the largest eggs in the world. Just one ostrich egg is the equivalent of 2 dozen chicken eggs, and they're going to weigh around 3 pounds each. And their eggs are also so strong that we can stand on them without cracking them. Now guys, we're just going to hang out here for a little bit. We've all been told to just kind of hang out where we are right now, so I'm just going to hang out here with these ostrich eggs.
This grass is greener.
Now we do want to make sure we stay seated, please.
He's got a hole this year. What? He's got a hole this year. I know. They're huge. They are huge. He's like, I want to eat this. It could eat me in one bite.
I hear chomping now.
Are those ribs or rolls?
I bet they're ribs. The neck rolls are neck rolls.
He's like, are you insulting me?
It's gonna tip over.
I know.
That's crazy. I'm sorry.
I'm videoing for you.
Oh, thank you.
You could get go.
But they do have really sensitive ears, which is why I'm trying not to talk while they're hanging out this close to us. Oh, I'm sorry. Like we can hear you.
Mm-mm. They're like listening to well, they can't see very well. That's why their hearing is so good. Their eyesight is bad.
Wait, so if you run and hide behind a tree, they
Yeah,
can't
it's
see.
like, did you see when it steps? They have like 3 toes that just go like,
Yeah, look.
yeah, their toes. Where when he steps. Oh, they're like, stop talking about me. Talk nicely to me. Are you making fun of my feet?
He's like, I will destroy your van.
Trying to decide if we're friendly. Do we have food for them? No, they're trying to decide if we have treats for them or if we're just gonna hang out here.
Gave her some.
This one's toes. When they step down, they like go out like a suction cup. Oh, he's like, no treats. These people's got nothing. Ugh, dirty.
Now, despite how big they are, rhinos can actually run up to about 35 miles an hour. And they're very light on their feet.
Just show me. Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming.
One set for self-defense and the other for digging. Now, coming up ahead on our left-hand side as we pass the warden's post, you'll find some very cute Nigerian dwarf goats. Sometimes they enjoy hanging out inside the Jeep. Yep, there they are.
You're so cute.
Now, they are mostly domesticated by farmers, and they serve a few purposes. Now, farmers can drink their milk as well as sell it to make money. And those little guys will also eat some of the overgrown vegetation that other livestock won't eat. Now, if you guys are interested in seeing some other animals today, I highly recommend you go and check out the Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. Now, that is a 15 to 20 minute self-guided walking trail here in Africa, where we have an underwater hippo viewing area, an aviary with several species of exotic birds. There's meerkats, snake and mole rats, some reptiles, and you also have a chance to see the gorilla family that we have here. So definitely go and check that out while you're here today. Now, for any of my wilderness explorers on board looking to get your safari badges for today's adventure, the name of the truck that you've been riding on is the Simba 1. And that's SIMBA1, just like the lion. Now that, my friends, it does seem like our time together has come to an end. I do hope you guys still had a great time out there, and I hope you were able to learn something new today. Thank you so much for your patience. Now here in Harambe, we don't like to say goodbye. Instead, we say Kwaherini, which means to go well. Now again, friends, my name is Madison, and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and it was a pleasure to be your safari guide today. Thank you all so very much for joining me, and thank you again for your patience. I hope you all have a very magical rest of your afternoon here at Disney's Animal Kingdom.